She's outside the door, so I just got moving on. I just got here.
Yeah, I tried.
We ready? Okay, you ready? Clear your throat. Any key that you choose. Okay, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Happy birthday, dear Grandma, great grandma. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Thanks for coming. I hope you had enough food. And that chocolate thing that you put on the table over there, Dan, I hope it doesn't melt before I eat it. Okay. So, welcome aboard, everybody, and have a good time. Thank you all. Thank all my kids. Can I sit down?
Thank you all for coming. This is a real special day. You don't turn 90 every day. No, really, you can only hope. I just want to say a couple of things really quick. A couple of things I want to say is, as you all know, most of you know Dad is a tennis guy. I heard somebody say he was a tennis guru or something like that. But we've known Dad in very a lot of different hats. And he has really blessed us in many ways. And Kenny, you need to be up here too. But it is a real privilege to be here because it's a real exciting time in our lives for Tim and I to be here, to help him out, to stir up his world, you might say. A couple of people can't be here today, but I know that their presence is felt, and that would be my mother and my Aunt Lucy. You know, I know that they would be here just kind of dancing in the streets here today, if they could be. And I know that we miss them very much. So, anyway, I hope that you're all having fun, because I am, and I'm glad you're all here. But I'm going to pass this to somebody who would like to...
Thank you all for being here. This is quite a celebration. Not everybody turns 90 years old every day of their life, and it's been a long and full life for my dad, as you can see here, and as you can see the people here. And I'm very, very happy to have my family and cousins and uncles and whomever here, and friends of my father. Thank you very much for being here and celebrating with us. Thank you very much.
My name is Ken. My wife Judy is back there in the red dress sitting between Steve and Tim Carr, are my younger cousins over there, along with a bunch of other relatives at that table, Jackie, and newly married Crit, and his sister. What is your name, Wendy? As you get older, we forget who we are. Anyway, it's exciting to be here and see all you people that my dad has made friends with and enjoyed their company of. And I think he's only been here for 15 years. And I tell you, for the 15 years prior to that, he didn't have this many acquaintances that I can recall. So I want you to know that you folks are very, very special to him, and you've shared a very special time in his life, as so have we. And we know that 90 is just a number, and it could turn to be 100. Who knows? We'll see. So enjoy yourselves, be around so that we can enjoy this thing in another 5 or 10 years, who knows? Thanks for coming.
Happy birthday, Daddy. I'm Kathy, and I am the adorable one. We're all from California, and we're going to have an import here. But I have a tribute here I want to read. I'm really excited about it. My sister also mentioned that my dad has worn many hats. Here I go. No, I've got it. And basically the situation is that Dad, when we were growing up, we didn't really know him that well. Dad is a very special person in all of our hearts here, and it is good to see that you all were here to support him, and we really appreciate it. Okay. Recently I was discussing some of Dad's experiences during and after World War II. The most recent was when he was assigned to Point Mugu, California, where he worked from 1954 through 1971. At the same time, he was also still in the Navy Reserve. He attended his reserve meetings up in Santa Barbara once a month, as I recall. He was very quiet about both those worlds. See, he also was a land surveyor, actually a third thing, who was keeping his company afloat while doing all these other things. I remember that he was assigned the PMR Range Operations Department at Point Mugu. One of the most memorable trips he mentioned was when he was directed by the Navy to travel with a crew to Jarvis Island in the South Pacific to start the initial survey for a surface launch complex. This assignment was something Dad was used to. I'm sure he's talked about his experiences during the war. He has been assigned to many faraway places. That's what he had done all his life, and he got an opportunity to do it again later on. And basically Jarvis Island was right up his alley because it was way out there in Jesus, Europe, as I say, or out in that ocean. Anyhow, this Jarvis Island was only 2 miles wide and a mile long. And during the war, World War II, it was used by the British for a communication station. During our conversation, Dad told me that on the other of the island every day by a helicopter, which was moored on a nearby Liberty ship. He said that during the 2 weeks it was very uneventful, except for one day. He said the helicopter crapped out, but no one was hurt. And I said, oh, right. You know, we never heard about this story. So he did suffer extreme sunburn, however, as he put it. My face was burned off, since the sun in that region is so close to the equator and the reflection off the water did not help. Another couple of interesting things that he found on the island, and this is during a phone call, you know, we're talking, and so on. He says there was a lighthouse, and the hull of a coal coaster ship built in 1915, which would be around World War I time frame, which expelled round coal balls. Okay. He said that the coal balls would wash ashore and go out with the tide and then back again. Dad has pictures and a thorough report of this mission, among other assignments, throughout the long career, and you can just ask him. There are so many other anecdotes that he has told me throughout the years, and since I have attended a PT boat reunion last summer, and since he is approaching his 90th year, all of his children have heard more about his travels and adventures. I can only speak for myself that when I say it has been brought up to the forefront how courageous Dad was to join the service at the advanced age of 30 and continue to survive a lot of his shipmates. It is amazing. I noticed that Dad was looked up to as a person who has more worldly experience, a father confessor perhaps, than the kids that joined the Navy with him, and they still look up to him today. I'm almost done. Okay.
She's got 4 more pages.
I admit it really did not mean too much to me as I was growing up and leading my own life, but it was amazing how he survived during the war and others did. He also was in the Korean conflict and tried to get into the Vietnam War conflict. I guess behind the gruff exterior, he was always so quiet. Do we all remember that?
No.
But we always knew when Dad was angry, he would start the whistling. I wonder if he did that same thing with his crewmates. During our childhood, the gruffness was very noticeable when Dad was around. Even now, after several years away from the nest, I reminisce with my friends, and they remember how scary Dad was. He had such a look on his face. Serious. I have to relate one story that showed his protectiveness, for me particularly, And that was when I was parked outside with one of my boyfriends at around midnight, probably past curfew. And Dad turned out on the porch light, and he was standing there wearing only his t-shirt and boxers with his Navy issue 45 at his side. Probably cocked and ready. Boy, did I didn't have to think twice. I was out of the car in a portion of time. Until recently, Dad kept that gun near his bedside. Nowadays, I reflect back on that time, and I think that he had this, his face was, the look on his face is more of a reflective, no, not an angry look. He is a thinker, a designer, an engineer. The wheels were turning, and he was thinking about the next surveying job he would be doing and how he would get it done. I did see the respect in his shipmates' eyes and heard it in their voices last year at the reunion. The respect is still there. He has also taught us to respect our elders, not to put our elbows on the table and chew with our mouths closed, among other things. It has been said by Dad that he's not religious, and I know that he has reasons since he was a soldier. But I have to say that his drive and determination have kept him alive all these years. God knows we did not see what Dad saw during those times. Dad also has mentioned several times he owes a lot to his years in scouting. He was given the highest award in scouting in 1926. He received the Eagle Scout ranking. He has followed the Scouts model all these years. Dad is a mechanical engineer. He is a builder. If you've not been to Colorado to his home, then you have not seen what he's done in the basement. He designs and builds trains and tracks. Dad likes to keep things. I think you call him a pack rat. Whatever it is, he may have a use for it, whatever, sooner or later. Dad has said to me several times that he has led a good life. He has been able to do everything that he has wanted to do. He has no regrets. Dad and Mom have had their challenges with us. No. We all pushed the limits with him. But through it all, there has been support. He has also said that he is proud of his kids, and he has always supported, or should I say, has been there for us as much as he could be along with Mom. We may have screwed up, but after the embarrassment has gone away and we approached him, he has completely understood why we have done what we have done or said. It's come out in the last 2 years that we have actually heard Dad say that he loves us. He does and always had, but the words are all so important. The words come from my mouth so much easier for me too. At the end of each conversation, it is, love you, Dad, or Pop. And Dad will say, I love you too. And I'm here if you need me. Whoops. Honestly, there was not a lot of hugging in our early years that I remember. But that is okay. There is a time when you have to get on with your life and stop blaming your folks for the way we turned out. About 8 years ago, we lost Mom. Dad did the best he could do to take care of her. He used all his skills he had to make her comfortable. Dad, she knew that you did your best. Dad, using his scouting skills then. Only recently will Dad talk about his mother and how he took care of her when he was just a child. I hope that as the days and years go by, we, Dad and I, and the rest of the family can continue our conversations. They are delightful and interesting. Now that Debbie and Tim are living with Dad, I'm sure the stories will stream out. We will need to capture these stories. They need to be told. The memories of his war years need to be brought to light. Even after these years, he may heal from all those life experiences. I've come to the end of my short synopsis of the last 3 years of really getting to know Dad. He is a charmer, an athlete, curmudgeon, and a soldier who has and always will soar with the eagles. I love you, Dad.
Really great. There is one thing that you did forget to mention. And Dad is a planner, a builder, an engineer, and mind you, a person who used to be real detail-oriented. And there was one particular Christmas that we had one Christmas that we had, I don't remember which year it was, but I remember I was immediately sent to my room for the comments I made. Does everybody here remember the spray snow? You spray it on the windows and you make the snowflakes and you do the flocking on your tree and things. Well, we had a can of that and the little spray nozzle was stuck. It was clogged. And maybe these days we would have maybe taken a pin and poked it in there and unclogged it, or maybe put some hot water on it. But this was Dad, the engineer, the folks that you all know that he's a person of detail. Dad put this can of snow in a pot of water, and he placed it on the stove. He turned the burner on to probably high. Most men who are cooking, they go right to high. They don't know anything else. And we were all having our family gathering, just doing what we were doing. Really, it's all a fog about that. And all of a sudden, we heard this kaboom! And the house was filled with snow. It was filled with snow. The pan and the snow can disappeared. The can had launched itself. I have no idea if it was ever found. I have no idea. It went straight up, through the roof, through the attic, out, away, gone, never to be seen again. The pan became the shape of the burner of the stove. So the bottom of the pan, you know, from the force, centrifugal, whatever, all of you engineers and rocket scientists out there. So, you know, when Dad talks about being on the ground floor of the space projects of designing missile launches and things such as that, I don't know if he started with a can of snow or at the end of it, but it was a great mess. It was something that we can definitely laugh about now. But I do recall Mom got a new kitchen out of that and some other new stuff out of that whole thing. But I wanted to share that with you because, as Kathy mentioned, we really didn't know a lot about Dad. And being the youngest, I just kind of was the observer of things that went on.
Kaboom!
Yeah, kaboom. This was something that was completely out of character because my friend who's sitting at that table there, we were talking the other day that you could see Dad drive up the street at about 5 o'clock. And whomever was at our house visiting, my friends that were there, Kathy's, any of our friends were there, they'd see him drive up, oh, I've got to go home now. And then go home the back door and he'd come in the front door. So this whole snow thing was really, really out of character and didn't quite understand it. So, you know, being the person that I am, a very shy and reserved young child that I was, made some sort of a comment about the snow making, you know, wasn't very a swift move for Dad. And I was sent to my room. But I guess all these other guys probably had to clean it up because I was in my room restricted for life. But anyway, just wanted to share that.
There is one time that I didn't get to share with
Well, you
people.
can share it.
Yeah.
It was a time when Art and Pena and I were wrestling around the living room.
You need to share that story.
Uncle
I
John,
want
the
you to
painting,
share it.
Uncle John
You need to share
has
that.
those eyes that follow you around the room.
Well, I couldn't find them. So
I was going to share about it.
oh, well, we could do that.
And then when it happened, Mom was very upset,
Yeah.
but Dad never said a thing.
No, but he started whistling.
Oh, he didn't say a thing. Because then I found out because it was either Aunt Lucy or Uncle Jack that said, well, you know why he didn't say anything? Because you see that scar in the back of the picture that you had to have fixed? He did that with a golf club when he was 18. So we met as kids.
I was 32 and he was 75. He stood a little taller then, or maybe his arms were just shorter, I don't know. His grasp barely exceeds his reach. I love watching him scratch his toes standing straight up. When we first met, he really impressed me as a bit cranky. And after 15 years of friendship, I'm still impressed. Corey has a real love of life, even if it is mostly his. He's accomplished more in 90 years than most people do in 20. And what great taste he has for younger women. Jerry, ice cream, cake, multi-pound boxes of See's candies. Not necessarily in that order. It kind of makes me wonder, what am I watching my diet for? Your trains are a metaphor for your life. They keep getting longer, but don't move so fast. Don't dare ask if he's been playing with them. He plays tennis. Trains are operated. It's serious business. Between the trains and his pacemaker, the city's electric utility is challenged.
The power drop in that corner is a problem.
I actually saw the trains run once. The neighborhood browned out for an hour. How's my position in the will coming? Oh, Corey, you're more like a kid than most kids are. And I have a theory about age. When you hit 50, you start counting backwards. That would put you at about 10, and you know that's about right. Last year, remember I gave you acne cream, and next year it's going to be a baseball mitt, and this year we need to sit down and have a serious chat about girls. I'd like to just be serious for a minute. No, that's all I can stand of that. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday.